Welcome to Bookmas Day 3. And today are 3 books/authors that a lot of people love and I don't. I could have done 5. We'll get to the bonus 2 later. But both of those could go in other directions. So I'm not going to do it. These are 3 I probably won't give another chance. Except maybe one of them in my DIY literature thing. I might give one of them a chance again. Especially if some of you guys can give me reason to or specific titles that maybe I just need to try out again. So we're going to start with the one that I feel like has the least redeeming qualities to it. And that is Edith Wharton. Yeah. Now, my kids went through the books in school, in college, and I read all the papers and then read significant extracts of the books, and finally got fed up enough that I read Edith and Frome, hoping to find something in it that I liked. And I didn't. If you don't know the story of Edith and Frome and you don't want to know the story, you might want to just zip to the next. I will try to remember to put timestamps so you can do that. But yeah. So in Edith and Frome, you have a woman. She is married and her husband, that's a little Freudian there. Her cousin comes to live with her and her husband. And her husband falls in love with the cousin. And it's just vile. I can't find anything redeeming in it. I didn't find it a study in insert a list of things that you're supposed to get out of this book. I just didn't like. I didn't even, some people love the writing. I did not like the writing. There was literally nothing about that one and the parts I read. What was the other one? It wasn't A Doll's House. That's Henry Ibsen or something like that. Or Henry, or yeah, I think it's Henry Isben or Isbexen or something like that. Anyway, that's a different author. Didn't like that either. But I'm trying to remember what the other one was. I can't. It was that bad. My brain has blocked it out. No, just kidding. It made that little impression on me in a favorable way is more like it. But I don't understand the appeal. I have tried. It's why I read the dumb book, because I was like, surely I don't like this because I'm only reading about it from the kids. I had a bunch of kids go through that class. So I read it over and over and over. And I read different sections each time because they each chose different things to write about. And then I got done and I was like, forget this. And so I need to understand it. Maybe it's because it's the whole thing. And so I read the whole thing. And yeah, no, don't like Edith Wharton. And who is Willa Cather? I'm just going to throw that in there too. I don't like her either. But I find redeeming stuff in her. I haven't put her on here because I haven't written her off. She's not written off yet. But Edith Wharton, unless someone can convince me that I need to give her another shot, I'm done with her. Period. Just, no, not a fan. But the next 2 on my list in order, there are things about them that I do find redeeming, even though I don't enjoy the author's writing or content. Number 1, let's talk Nathaniel Hawthorne. Okay, everybody runs screaming, going, this gal doesn't know what she's talking about. She's totally illiterate, and I'm okay with that. If you love Hawthorne, great. I'm glad someone does. I am not that someone. My husband had an English teacher who didn't like him either. And he put this so well. And he was speaking in terms of the House of Seven Gables. But I feel like it applies to the Scarlet Letter as well. But the way he described Hawthorne's writing is, why use one word when 10 would do? He is like the antithesis of Hemingway. I'm just saying. Okay, Hemingway is not as concise as he's made out to be. I've read some pretty Dickensian sentences from him. He is much more concise, but no. So I don't remember much about the House of Seven Gables. I read it when I was 16, and I remember thinking, why? What's the point? I don't remember much, but I do remember the Scarlet Letter, and I had a lot of problems with it. Some that I'm supposed to have. Okay, I'm going to put that out there. Number one, one of the problems I had with it that I didn't like, I did not like I don't want to say exaggeration, because I don't think it's necessarily exaggeration, but he portrayed the Puritans as all incredibly judgmental, narrow-minded, evil people, basically. I mean, everybody is out to point the judgmental finger at someone else and get them in trouble. That is the feeling that you get reading that book. Hester Prynne is an anomaly, actually. She is like the anti-Puritan in this book. And when I read Puritan literature from the Puritans, when I read their journals, when I read their prayers, I don't get this. I get a sense of individual. I'm going to make sure that I stand as blameless before a holy God as I can, out of respect for his law, not because I'm going to be able to justify myself. I don't get that from them, but I do get this feeling of, we have a responsibility to be sanctified and to work through our salvation with fear and trembling and all the stuffness. But like many authors, he is not alone in this. Hawthorne presents Puritanism as a whole as something that, yes, there were these types of people, but there are in the church today, and there will be in the church tomorrow, and the opposite is also in both. And I don't like characterizing an entire group based upon the few. It feels like it should be the other way around. But also, Hester Prynne is kind of treated almost like she's above the rest. And in a sense she is. She does protect the minister's reputation. And I want to respect that. Deep down, I actually want to respect it. But I can't, because look where it went. Look what happened to this. Look at all that went so very wrong, because we let secret sin stay in the dark. And this is why public confession of public sin it should still be a thing. I don't think I need to go and stand before the church every time I have a terrible thought in my head, or every time I have an argument with someone in private, or every time I lie to someone or to myself, instead of dealing with it directly. But if I have a sin that reflects on the entire church because it has become a public sin, and pregnancy outside of wedlock would be one, I need to go before the church and confess, because it's the right thing to do. It's not like my body's not going to confess for me. But so does Mr. Jerkface. He sinned too. And I know that there's kind of this underlying, we're going to show why this is so wrong. I mean, I feel like Hawthorne was showing the hypocrisy there. I really do. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. And it's not that I don't like the gist of the story. I actually do like the gist of the story. But I really don't like where it went and how it went there. I really don't like there's so much I don't like. But mostly, I don't like the writing. When it all boils down, there's a lot of redeeming things about it. There are a lot of important things about it that are good. But at the end of the day, if someone else had written that story, I might have liked it better. I know I would have liked it better, actually. If Michael Phillips wrote that book, I would like it. I'm sure I would like it. If Elizabeth Googe wrote that book, I would like it. I have no doubt I would like it. But I don't like it from Hawthorne because I don't like his writing. It's like he and Dickens had this thing where they were like, how many words can I pack into a sentence? And, you know, Dickens totally beat him. I mean, there's the first page that is a sentence of Tale of Two Cities that just goes on ad nauseum. Okay, we get it. It was a time of dichotomies. Gotcha. Or juxtapositions, or it was whatever. We get it. We get the gist. We don't need any more. So I don't like Hawthorne, but if you think there is a Hawthorne book that has a story that I would really, really like and isn't quite as verbose as particularly The House of Seven Gables. Am I saying that title right? Yeah. Anyway, I would love to know what it is because I would like to read it, because I feel like I can't do American literature if I don't at least read something of his that I haven't read. Clearly, there's a reason that I don't like him. I'm illiterate or ill-speakerate or something. But yeah, no, I don't like him. So yes, I would love suggestions for Hawthornes that I might like better. And then finally, of my top 3 that I really don't like, this is where everybody unsubscribes and runs screaming. Yeah. I don't like Gone with the Wind. It's the only thing by Margaret Mitchell I've read. I don't know if she wrote anything else. If she did, is there a better one? Because guys, I got serious problems with this book. There are some great things in here. Don't get me wrong. Excellent lessons. Amazing characterization. She's amazing at characterization. But I have totally different opinions on some of these characters than a lot of people do. Ashley Wilkes is a wuss. He's a wimp. And he is supposed to be this great Southern gentleman. Yeah. No. He's hiding behind his wife's skirts. I'm just like, I don't have any respect whatsoever for him. And it's really hard for me to respect, what's her name? Come on, Shtona. You got a brain. Scarlet O'Hara, for being so obsessed with him. Except she was what, 15, 16? It's almost like she's Juliet. But it was like, I'm not going to let him die. I'm just going to torture him for the rest of his life. I mean, it's just, But anyway, there's that. Everybody thinks Melanie Wilkes is just the sweetest thing on the planet. In the movie, I see it. I see her strength in the movie. I see her gentleness. I see a lot to admire in her. In the book, I saw her as manipulative and conniving, and I didn't like her at all. She played a part. She did what she knew to do as a strong Southern woman who had to fit under certain norms and that Scarlet wasn't going to play with. Got to give props to Scarlet for that. At least she wasn't a hypocrite. I didn't. I saw a totally different Melanie than anyone else. I don't know anyone else who thinks about Melanie the way I do. I don't like her. Okay, so camera died and I had to let it recharge and all the fun stuff. So we're just going to take 2. Rhett Butler, I'm sorry. He's a scoundrel. He doesn't pretend not to be. And I do see growth in him that I can appreciate. And I don't know. He's not someone I would want to spend a lot of time with. And yet by the end of the book, he was closer to it. But because there's definitely a strong growth in him. But as far as, I still can't say I like him. And I don't remember some of the more minor characters as well from the book as I do from the movies. So I don't know how I feel about some of those things. But Scarlet, she's just shallow and manipulative and immature, and I have no doubt she can grow up, but I see no evidence that she will. There's just, and the travesty that they call the sequel, we won't even go there. We are not even going there, because I think Margaret Mitchell would have cried. It's just, no, we're not even, we're just not going there. But so, yeah, I don't like the book. And I don't know if she wrote anything else. I didn't look it up. If she wrote something else that you think is better, I would like to know it. But I'm pretty sure that I can't be convinced out of that. You can convince me to give Hawthorne another chance. Not Edith Wharton, and not Gone with the Wind. But I will give, because Margaret Mitchell can write. I mean, I could see the book playing out before me as I was reading it. I could see it all. But the problem that it all boils back down to is that it's pretty much a soap opera. I mean, it's not for me. But I'm not discounting her writing skills. Edith Wharton is supposed to have amazing writing skills. Nathaniel Hawthorne is supposed to have amazing writing skills. I didn't get it from either one of them. So there's that. And then the two other authors, obviously, it's obvious that I don't like Dickens. I've said it enough that this is no surprise to me, but I want to like Dickens. And I love Dickens book adaptations. The newest Little Dorrit, brilliant. The newest Bleak House that I saw anyway, I don't think there's been one since then, brilliant. I loved it. The old 80s, Our Mutual Friend, probably my favorite. It is so good. The cinematography is horrendous. I don't care. It is so good. I just, but he's so verbose. I don't like pages upon pages upon pages of description of a room. I don't care what's in that room. I really just don't care. It's like he and Trollope, I think I preferred Trollope's info dumps to a lot of Dickens' writings, but his characterization is so brilliant, and the multiple ways that he weaves different stories that seem like completely, where is this coming together? And then it does. And he was a genius. I just don't like how he gives us his genius, but I do like it in the adaptations, and I want to like the writing despite it having way too many words to tell the story. I mean, I like Trollope's writing, even though we have these enormous info dumps. So despite that, I still like it. I want to feel that way about Dickens. So which Dickens book should I try next that maybe I will like better? Also, this is not going to surprise anyone. I'm pretty sure I've said it before. I don't like Tolkien's writing. It's the Dickens of the fantasy world. It's a huge, great heaping gob of words, and I've tried over and over, and I'm determined I will like these stories. I will understand them. I will plow through them so that I can appreciate them. If I can make it through those info dumps and Trollope, I can make it through Tolkien, right? And tonight I had this genius thought. I hope it's genius. Maybe it's just justification. Probably. But I'm thinking, what if I got Letters from Father Christmas? So I've been wanting this for a long time, and I keep not buying it, right? But what if I got that and I read that first, and it like drew me into the way he thinks and the way he, get immersed in him, and then try The Hobbit again. Because I've tried The Hobbit, and I've tried just starting with the first. Well, the Lord of the Rings, I can't remember. Is it Lord of the Rings or is it the Towers thing? I don't remember which one is the first one. But I can try it. I do want to try audio. I'm hoping audio will be better. But I don't know. What do you think? Would it work? Buy if necessary. I really want to love it so much. I'm determined. I'm so determined. But those are two that would have fit on this list, except that basically if I never read anything from the other three, from Wharton, Hawthorne, or Mitchell, I'm not going to be sad. And actually, I refuse to read anything else from Wharton. So, and I refuse to reread Gone with the Wind. I'm done with that. But I don't know. What do you think? Is there something by Hawthorne I should try? Is there, if I try again on Tolkien or Dickens and I go a different route, should I listen to them instead? Is it better audio? These are questions that I need answered, and I'm hoping you'll help me with it. Meanwhile, I'll be back tomorrow with something I'm not telling you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and just enjoying all that this season and its focus on Jesus has to offer.